Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Easy Does It, a podcast created specifically for the amazing members of the MJ team. Rob and I are back with you again, excited for another great episode. Rob Johnson, it is 2026. Can you believe it?
I can, but I can't.
I know. Happy New Year to both you and Corey.
Happy New Year.
Our listeners, our MJ people. It's time to get it going.
It freaking flew by last year.
It did. And January's flying by.
I know.
We already at the 14th.
I know.
It's weird.
I don't like that.
Okay, so it looks
Slow
like
it down.
No. We're just going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. It looks like you rang in the new year
A little hard. Yep, I did. You can get a close-up shot. Here we are. If I could give anybody advice, catch the baseball. Catch it with your glove, not your face. Me and Jack were throwing a baseball, and we have a zip line in the backyard, and he threw it high. It goes up. I put my glove up, and the ball ricocheted straight down, hit me in the face, knocked my glasses off my face, blood everywhere, and I didn't need stitches, which was a good thing.
Yep.
Just glued me back up. So this was on Saturday, 3 hours before our management team dinner. And I had a big old goose egg walking in, and all 25 people individually asked me, dang, what happened to your face? Dude, what happened? What's the other guy look like? Dang, son, what happened to your face? I was like, I need a PowerPoint presentation before the dinner, but it didn't work out. So I just...
Yep. Okay, so the challenge to the people who are watching today will be not to look at the gash above Rob's eye for
we
the
should
remainder.
just own it, just own it.
Listen, that's why when we talked about this earlier this week, I'm like, we're just going to have to talk about why you have that gash on
I
your
almost
eye.
feel like we should make it bigger, make it like a full-on battle scar. Like, can we just blow this thing up? I can get a little closer. At least I can see well. That whole night, I could just see my eyebrow. Like, I'm looking, and I'm like, I can see my hair on my eyebrow hanging down. I'm like, I wonder if it's that big. It is weird. Mm-hmm. It is weird, but I can see good now.
Isn't it funny to think, this is totally going off of topic, you'll never see your own face? Maybe you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah, the mirror, like your mirror is just a representation of what your face looks like.
That's crazy.
I know what your face looks like.
I know.
You know what my face looks like right now.
I know.
Yep.
That's crazy to me. We'll never see our own face.
Never see your own brain.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I know. Mm-hmm. So I bet that eyebrow hanging down there was weird.
I saw part of my face.
Yeah, because you don't normally see that.
Yep. So,
okay. Well, today we're going to talk about goals, and we've already talked about one, which is catch the baseball.
Yes.
Not with your face.
Yes.
We're going to probably take a few little different spins on goals. Mm-hmm. Even when we were talking about doing this episode, we kind of talked about, like, is this overdone? Should we even do this? That kind of thing. But we kind of decided it was worthwhile to revisit. I think we might have some new listeners. I've been trying to get our podcast news out to our new Tech Builder and Build a Plumber classes that have started in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we might have some new listeners, maybe some people who haven't heard us talk about this yet. Plus, I just think that we know more now than when we've talked about this before, maybe. And so I feel like maybe we could give some different insights about setting goals. I think really we're going to maybe title this setting goals, but not really.
Yeah.
So
that's fitting.
Yeah. So we'll take some different spins on goals, hopefully give some people some stuff they can take away with. It is the start of a new year. It feels like a natural reset time for most people. It also sometimes feels like a natural reset for people on their birthday. And this year someone has a big birthday coming up.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Okay, I was just saying.
My 20s are ending, okay? So here we
Rob
are.
has his 30th birthday.
Yeah, 30. That is correct. Thank you for supporting me.
So it does feel, birthdays, New Year's, those types of things feel like natural resets.
Yep.
So it's normal for people in January to be like, okay, what do I want this year to bring? What do I want to, that kind of thing. So hopefully we can give some people some tools to help them actually get on the right track and not fizzle out by February.
Yeah. There was actually something interesting I saw. They said, if you do set goals, I forget what they called it. I think it was kind of the April theory. Have you heard that?
No.
So the April theory is don't set goals in January. because it's cold. What do they call it? Seasonal depression.
Yeah.
They say don't set goals then. They say wait until spring. And so it's usually around April. So set goals in April when it's warm and you're feeling better and more energized. Summer's right around the corner. You feel more motivation. So they say set them then if you did do them.
Huh.
So some of y'all haven't gone to the gym yet. You still got time.
Sorry, you got till April.
You got time. They're like, thank God.
That's the deadline.
Bring the nachos on.
That's the deadline. Okay. Do you have a would you rather for me?
Oh, I forgot.
You did?
Nope, I got it.
How could
okay.
I was gonna say, how could you?
How could I? Okay. Would you rather catch a baseball with your face or I'm just kidding. I actually thought of one like that. I was going to say, would you rather catch a baseball with your face or stub your toe and rip your toenail off? Which one would you pick? This is a bonus one.
I think catch the baseball with my face.
Yep. Yeah.
Man, the toe.
At least nobody would see that one. Yeah, no, toes are rough, you know.
Real rough.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So would you rather achieve every goal that you set or fail your goals but become wiser, kinder, and discover talents you never knew you had?
Well, I mean, of course, I think it should be 2.
2? Oh, number 2.
Option 2.
I thought you were saying both. I'm like, bro.
Well, my mind did first go to is there some way to combine these
Is this
two?
the year of both?
The year of both. Why should I? Maybe that's what I'll just start answering for every single one.
If you tell me that, I'm gonna come up with some craziness. Yeah.
Yeah. Achieve every goal I set, or fail at the goals but become
wiser, kinder, and discover talents you never knew you had.
I mean, I say number 2. But let's be honest, I ain't trying to fail at nothing. I'm getting better at that, but I'm not willing. I'm not going to willingly. But I would like to. I mean, who doesn't want? I mean, as Mr. Jenkins would say, what's not to love about becoming kinder, smarter, and recognizing talents you never knew that you had.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. It would be, for me, it would be navigating through the failure to even get, finding those places or recognizing that I'm getting better in other ways.
Yeah.
So I also too, and this will kind of go along with what we're talking about, like achieving all the goals I set for myself. I'm not really necessarily the person who's like, by this date, I will do this. So, and I feel like that's kind of evolved for me over time too. So, I think I would be better off accepting some failure and learning more about myself along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you could just say that, oh my gosh, I want to achieve all my goals. I'm going to solve world hunger. You could go that path and help a lot of people out there and it not be about self. I think it's natural to be like, okay, it's all about
I'm being a little
family
selfish
and all
over
that.
here.
Well, that's where my mind went. I was like, shoot, I'm gonna get my 6-pack year round. I will eat my nachos on Friday night, or Pizza Fridays. So I think that's naturally where most people go, including myself. But it'd be pretty cool to help a lot of people with those goals, and maybe you become kinder, wiser, and a better person because you gave it away.
Yep.
So shout out to our tech builders and Build-A-Plumbers. I got to spend time with some of the Build-A-Plumbers last week. Shout out T-Dog and Slim Shady. There's some good people in there. There's some cool people in that room.
Always with the nicknames.
Yep. But I rolled out our 5-5-20. 5 goals, 5 gratitudes, 20 of something physical. And I retold a story for them that I had with the installers. And I said, what would it look like if you were able to achieve every goal that you wrote down? Like I said, write down some goals of how to win today. So they were writing some things down, and I asked them afterwards, okay, what kind of goal did you have? And of course, to win the day for them in a classroom, it's like learn something new. One of the guys, Ritz Cracker, he said, let him come on here and tell that story. It's interesting. But he said, just, brighten somebody's day. And I'm like, that's beautiful. What does that look like? And he's like, encourage somebody today. I'm like, that's great. So it was cool that some of the goals they had were about others. But I asked him, I said, shoot, what if you go write down a goal and that actually happened? I said, what would you write down? And one of the fellas in there, he was like, I would want to win $1 million. I'm like, that's cool. I said, what would you do with it? He goes, dang, I don't even know. So then we started talking about, what he would do with it. And then I said, what about you? What would you want to do? He goes, $2 million. I'm like, y'all thinking small. You can have whatever you want. I'm like, why not $50 billion?
Right.
Like we small thinking, which is interesting that's kind of where our mind go.
Yeah.
So I encouraged him. I said, okay, let me ask you this. $1 million. If you wanted to have $1 million by the end of the year, what would you have to do? And so then one of the guys, there was a math genius. I don't remember what he said. He's like, that's like $30,000. Yeah, or $30,000, whatever. And I said, okay, well, how would you break that down per week? And then how would you break that down per day? And then end up being like $3,000 to $5,000 a day. If I can just get this, then I would have $1 million by the end of the year. And I said, how could you make $3,000 to $5,000 a day? Could you sell something on Amazon? Yeah. What would you sell? What would be worth it? And all you got to do is set up an Amazon shop, do a little bit of study on how all that stuff works, find you an agency that has the product, and then a shipping company, link all that together, and a lot of it would just be passive and you wouldn't have to do anything. I said, is that hard? No. Why don't we do that now? And so the guys are like, I'm like, do you realize you live in the most automated society? Yeah. It's easier now to make money than ever, but we hold ourselves back. So I said, when you write your goals down, think about, dang, how could I achieve this, and break it down. But I think it would be pretty cool. I'm cheating because I let you go first, but I feel like it would be pretty cool to be able to accomplish every goal and, do what the Lord always talks about is, it's about others and give stuff to other people. It'd be pretty cool if one of those dudes wrote that stuff down and you were able to secretly give them that, they never know who did it, but just like, dude, I freaking did it. That would be cool.
Yep.
Change some people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm feeling like I was too selfish with the would you rather.
You should have me start going first so you can do the same thing.
Maybe I should start asking the would you rathers.
We should alternate this year. You come up with one, I come up with one.
Okay.
Bet.
Okay, but you have to remind me before next time.
Okay, I got you. Don't be walking up in here and be like, I forgot.
I know. I'd never be able to come up with one on the spot.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
No, that's not my jam.
You could use zombies always.
No, that's right. It always goes back to zombies.
Yes.
Or being stuck in the ocean or the woods.
So tell me this. So we started talking about said options. Started talking about goals and how do we tackle this? And we started talking about, should we tackle it? And then what does it look like to talk about goals again? Because we talk about goals all the time. You guys know. If you're a new listener, we talk about goals a lot because it's important. But we want to take a different direction. What made you feel like you two wanted to take a different direction?
I think my hope is that our people here at MJ or anybody who's listening is growing, is getting better. Hopefully the podcast is part of that, but hopefully they're doing other things to work on themselves. And I just feel like for me, going into this year, for some reason it feels different, and I know that could be very individual to me. I do feel the pressure, so to speak, of making some goals, not resolutions. I'm done with that. We've kind of already dispelled the resolution piece. Even just the idea of a resolution sounds a little bit less permanent. So resolutions, no, I know I'm not doing that. But then I do feel the pressure to make some goals. What am I going to do with this year? There's this piece. And I just feel like the more that we've learned, the more that we've done on here, I don't think that's the way to approach it. I'm not sure I know exactly how to approach it, which I hope maybe that's something I'll gain some clarity myself on as we talk today. But I just felt like it was important for us to touch base with people again about setting goals is important, like you just said, but that's such a small piece of it. I would venture to say that most people, if not all people, want to get better. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. get better in some aspect. I want to be healthier. I want to make better food choices. I want to save more money. I want to make more money. I want to advance in my career or whatever. So how are any of our goals? That's all the same. Does that make sense? I think most people want to be better. So setting a goal, it's like we're all doing that. It's not the goal that matters as much as it is how you get there. The things you put in place to help you achieve the goal, the way you start to look at yourself in relation to that goal.
Yeah.
I just don't think, I do think it's important to know the end game, which is the goal that's out there in front of you. But so much more important than that is, what am I going to do on the most difficult day to get me one step closer to that goal? That's what we need to be thinking about now, or in April, whenever. That's what we need to be thinking about now. For me, it's not like lose 10 pounds. It's like on the day when it has been crazy at work, I have to go home and make dinner, Leah's got dance, blah, blah, blah. If I want to lose 10 pounds on the hardest day, what am I going to do? I think that's what we need to be thinking about now, and how do we change how we perceive ourselves. And it's taken me a long time to get to the place where I'm starting to realize it's not just about resolutions, goals, 2026, new year, new me, right? It's like, no.
Let me hear that one more time.
It's like, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
Unless you really put things in place to do something about that. So I think I was afraid to do this episode because I do feel like sometimes maybe it's overdone. But at the same time, I think it is a natural reset point in the year. So why wouldn't we work through some things and hopefully give some people some things to think about?
Well, if I'm hearing you right, or correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like the hard moments in achieving those goals or moving forward, becoming better, like those hard moments of the resilience in the moment of, do I continue this or do I just give up again right here? Like, it's almost seeming like you're becoming something different in that moment. I mean, it helps you achieve whatever goal it is, but that characteristic that you're developing and polishing in that moment carries beyond that. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Like on the days when it's hard, do I make the choice to just skip going on a walk or doing a workout or meal prepping for the next day? Do I just skip it because that's easier? Or am I the kind of person who, if I can't make a 30-minute walk work, then I make a 10-minute walk work? I think that's the kind of thinking that is going to help us when the initial motivation is gone.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that on here before. Motivation it's fleeting, it's emotional, it's up and down. So why would we rely on motivation to help us reach or accomplish something that's really important to us? So if my health is important to me, and I heard, I guess maybe I was listening, I'll tag this in the show notes because it's such a great episode. I was listening to Mel Robbins. She was talking to James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. That book is in the library. It's an amazing book. The podcast is really great. He's so gifted.
He's so good. Yeah.
But she was talking about, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit about where do the goals come from? She has 3 adult kids, Mel Robbins does, and she said, my health is important to me because I want to be able to dance at all of my kids' weddings. Yes, because we all know how I feel about dancing. Okay. If I had to sit at one of my daughter's weddings, if I had to sit and watch because I couldn't physically get up and dance, that would be terrible. Devastating. Because, listen, I'm going to dance at anybody's wedding. I don't even care if I don't halfway know you.
You ain't going to be sitting in that chair. You got to be out there on the
way.
floor. Yeah.
Okay, I got to do the wobble. It's got to happen. And so I think that when you frame it that way, when you think about today today's going to be a busy day. We were just talking about this before we started. Today's going to be a busy day. Mila has sewing class this afternoon. Going to have to get dinner ready. If it's important to me to be able to do that at some point, today I have to make a decision, whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it is, I have to become the person who makes the decision to do the hard thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that is so much more powerful to me than I want to lose 10 pounds. I want my jeans to fit better. It just gives some real context and meaning to what those hard decisions mean for me and for my family.
Yeah, it's the meaning behind it. I mean, even for the jeans fitting, that's nice.
It's great, yeah.
And maybe for some people that means a lot to them. Mm-hmm. I'm not downplaying any of that, but that long term of it's my kid's wedding, and it would mean the world for me to be able to dance out there on the floor and be able to freely walk up and do all that. Mm-hmm. It's the meaning behind it, and I'm there for my kids in the long run. So the actions that I'm having have multiple outcomes that fit in those, not the qualities, but the values that you have. Mm-hmm. And so this one was a little bit tough for me to try to really dive in and not just think how can we talk about goal setting. But even going back to James Clear, there were some things in his book that really hit hard because I wrote a note of why are we setting goals in the first place? Mm-hmm. And there were so many actual really good bits of content out there just saying that there is a ton of societal pressure to set goals. Mm-hmm. You see other people doing it. It's January. I got to do it. All the marketing and advertising out there just goes towards that popularity. It's just, hey, everybody sets goals in January, and this is what you need to do. Let me tell you what, right now, that daggum gym was packed out this morning. Corey, don't even go the one across the street. I'm just saying. But it's wild. But the people, it's challenging when you set that short-term goal of like, I want to lose 50 pounds. That is just a finish line. But if you say that I want to be there for my kids when they walk this, I said walk the stage, when they walk the aisle, it's like, man, that is a long-term, and the systems that you have to put in place to get there hit so many other checkpoints in your life. I think it's really smart if you did set goals to make sure that they hit different areas, but you have to ask, why am I setting a goal in the first place? Am I setting this because everybody else is doing it? It's expected of me. Am I doing it because someone's going to ask me? Mm-hmm. Or am I doing this because this is going to create the type of person that is valuable to me? I think it's great. There was a gentleman, Tracy Morgan, he's a really talented speaker, but he was saying, when you write your goals, you should write down 10 things. Like if you can wave a magic wand today and you can have them, what would they be? And write them in the first tense, like I've achieved, I weigh, I have, whatever. And then he says, choose one of them that have the greatest impact for you. And then that's going to be your one goal. Even if it's like, I have $10,000 in my bank account for backup, like that's great. But what happens when you achieve that? It's almost like I lost 50 pounds or I fit into my pair of jeans. Mm-hmm. What type of person are you trying to become? So the challenge that I tried to weave down was, what type of charactered person do I want to be in the future? So instead of just writing a finish line, what type of ongoing character traits would I want to have? So if it's for my kids, it's not, I just want to spend time with my kids more because I know I probably should. It's what kind of father do I want to be for my kids? And what types of behaviors would I need to have in order to be that father? Like, what does that look like? I think it's cool to say that I want to be the dad that the kids have no problem coming up and asking and having hard conversations with their dad about their feelings, emotions, whatever. I want to be the dad that they know that when they come and ask me something, it's like, Daddy's going to help me with this. Mm-hmm. I can always depend on him. I want to be the one where they're dealing with challenging things in their life later on, and they don't have that fear of like, should I ask my dad this, or can I tell him this? And they're more apt to stand up for themselves and say that this is the character that my dad showed me, and this gave me the courage to do this now when I'm by myself. Mm-hmm. So I think those types of character traits, those are I know we said we weren't trying to set goals, but like if we just look at it's a different avenue. It's a different direction to take instead of I want to lose 50 pounds. What type of person are you trying to become? What character traits are you trying to find?
Yeah, I think there's two things that you talked about that I want to touch on. I think one of them is this idea of the pressure, particularly the pressure of January. It's like, I wonder how many people there are showing up at the gym just because that's what they think they're supposed to do. They don't know. They show up. They don't know how to use the equipment. They don't know how long is that going to last? How long are you going to keep going to the gym and looking around and being like, I feel like an idiot in here? It's like you're setting yourself up you're just showing up because that feels like what you're supposed to do in January. So there's this pressure behind it that I think we often don't normalize or we don't think through. Corey said this before he started today. He's like, it kind of feels like everybody's easing in to 2026, which I think is really not a bad idea. I mean, it kind of goes back to the April thing that you talked about. Instead of just guns a-blazing January 1st, I'm going to hit the gym for an hour a day I just don't think that's, I think it's okay. If you think about it, we just came off of the holiday season, and I don't know about y'all, but it's like it's so fast. There's so many things to do. You got family in town. You got meals to cook. You got presents. You got this. There's just like, we're coming off of this, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom. Change these 19 things about yourself
now.
right now.
Yep.
No wonder everybody is tired and unmotivated. It's just not, even the timing in and of itself is not great. So I think that's one thing is like everybody starts to feel like they failed within like the first 2 weeks of January, because we're coming off of this holiday lag and we're getting back into the context of work. And it's just, we've already set ourselves up for failure. Yep. So I think one thing is like the fresh start energy of a new year, that is going to fade quickly. And so I think it's okay for us to, now I'm not saying you just keep on eating your nachos, and never do anything. But I do think it's okay to kind of recognize there's this pressure about January, but we don't have to perform right then and there. Right. So I think it's worth just saying it's okay. It's okay, everybody.
Yeah.
Even if all the things around you are saying, go to the gym, do this, do that. You need some goals. You need some resolutions. It's like, it's okay. Like, let's just all kind of, I think that goes back to, if you can take some time in January to get crystal clear on what it is that you want, you'll be much better off than just trying to jump in
for sure
and hope that your motivation and willpower will carry you through. We already know that that's not going to work.
Yeah, I think about motivation kind of like, it's like alcohol. Like if you were to rubbing alcohol and light it on fire, it burns up so fast.
Yeah. Bright and fast.
Yeah. And then it's just gone. And it's like it wasn't even there in the first place.
Yeah.
And I also think it's important for people to recognize if you go hot like that, you're going to get burned out really, really quick. And then you go back in the cycle that you were in before of, I'm not happy with myself. You get down on yourself. Oftentimes people's coping mechanisms actually amplify that feeling. And then they're like, I'm worse off. I should have never done that. And then the guilt sets in.
Yep.
And then you go a whole year, and then you're back in January. I failed. I'm not going to fail again. And then they find a new strategy or whatever. This one's going to work. And then it's the same exact thing. I often find it's smart to take breaks. So go for a little bit on something, not crazy. Just start some behaviors and then take a little bit of a break. Like, it's okay to take a break. So y'all, I ain't turning 30. I'm turning 40 this year. But if anybody knows me, I love David Goggins. I got his haircut and everything. But he always just gets me motivated. If I'm feeling down on myself, sorry for myself or whatever, I'll just listen to a little of that and I'm like, all right, let's freaking go. And I just would go hard all the time. And when I was a little bit younger, I just was nonstop. I was working out 5-6 days a week. It felt good. There was a period there where I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I would be warming up for a workout and I'm like, my body's shot. Like I felt like I just did 100 push-ups. I'm like, I can't do anything. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I still don't know what was wrong with me, but I also know I was working out 6 days a week and I was like, I'll just take a couple of days off. And then next time I come in, I feel good. I go hard. 5 minutes in, oh my gosh, it's back. I was like, am I not eating enough carbs? I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, I'm going 6 days a week. And I felt guilty taking time off. I'm like, if I take too many days off, I'm going to lose it. I'm just chasing this like fitness or whatever it is. But all of that later in life, I'm like, why? Going back to our first question of the day, why was I feeling the need to do that in the first place? Because I felt inadequate. If I wasn't doing this, then it goes against my identity or it goes against this feeling I have to prove myself to other people. And then it led to burnout. I'm like, crap. And so I would never be the one like, I need to take a day off. Bro, I get a phone call. Bro, you want to go hit the gym? Yeah, I'll be there. Like, I already worked out today. I'll show up. Like,
I'll do a 3 a day.
What are we doing? I have done that before. Sam Hagee's done that before. It's like, I'll do it 2 a day. I already worked out twice today. Or I'm at the gym still. I just finished. You want to come over? Like, let's go. I'd go hang out with Dane. I'm like, burn out. But why? Mm-hmm. Well, it's fun to hang out with your friends, or it's fun, it's enjoyable, but it's like, man, the long-term gain of that is not worth it if you're burning it at both ends. And so I say all that to say, I found out later in life, almost every single thing that you see out there is all about balance. Like being successful in life is about balance of, I want to become this type of person. I want to achieve this. The achievement is truly in the change, the becoming something different. But it's about balance. I can't eat nachos all the time and do nothing and expect to be the person I want to be. And I can't burn the candle at both ends. You will find yourself in a spot where you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. It's basically the same. It is about balance. Mm-hmm. So I've found more and more now, I'm okay with, I'm going to take a day off. Mm-hmm. Like I know what my body feels like when I'm getting to that point, and my long-term goal for myself is longevity, and I want to be there for my kids. I want to be the shredded grandpa at the baseball game, out there with the kids running around in the field and be like, that's my papaw right there. I don't call none of my grandparents papaw, but I will be papaw. But that's my papaw right there. And it's like, dang. But it's like that long game of being there, right? Mm-hmm. And I ain't going to be able to do that, burning at both ends. So the character for me is more important than this just solitary achievement. Going back to James's book, it's not about, running a marathon. I am a runner. Mm-hmm. It's like, that is the character, that is the type of person to become versus an achievement. The achievements come as a result of the systems that you put in place, not I did it and you're done. Don't hang the medal on your wall and be like, look at that one marathon I did, bro. It's like, good for you, dude. Right. Sweet. I saw this bumper sticker today. It says 13.1. I'm only half crazy. I was like, that's right.
I love the ones that say 0.0.
Yes. Bless all of you out there. I love those
just
stickers.
Own it, man. Own it. Yeah, I do think it's like about what you can do consistently. That is the biggest piece to me, which it's like the decisions that I make day to day reinforce this identity that I'm trying to create. What decisions can I make day to day? It's like, to me, it's like a trickle down effect. I want to be this type of person, whatever this is. And then to be this person, then these are the types of decisions that I need to be able to make daily. Okay. So daily, every day, I can't commit to working out for an hour. That's not sustainable. That's not consistent. I'm not going to be able to make that decision every day in order to support this identity that I now want for myself. So it's like, if you work it backwards, this is what I want. These are the decisions I'm going to have to make every day to get there. What decisions can I make consistently every day to help me get there. So maybe, for me right now, I've really been going back and forth. I was hot on my Sydney Cummings there for a little while, trying to get back to it.
Shout out Sydney.
Yep. She's great. And she's coming back. She just had a baby.
I know.
I can't even work out for 30 minutes. Lord have mercy.
Don't do that.
There comes the guilt.
Don't do it.
But right now, I'm trying to figure out how to navigate. I want to do the strength training because I know that strength training is important for me as I get older. I don't want to be the grandma. I haven't decided what I want my name to be yet.
Mamaw,
I need to think
Papa,
about that.
It can't be Gigi. There's only one of those.
That's right. So I don't want to find myself in a place like my mom. Just the other day, she was telling me, I was so proud of her. She goes to a little workout class, and somebody at the class asked her, Jenny, how old are you? That's how they talk in Eden. Jenny, how old are you? And she's like, I'm 74. And this lady's just like, that is amazing.
I thought they were going to say, dang. I'm just kidding.
That's because
awesome.
She can still go. She can still do the little working out and all of that. I'm sure it's not anything crazy. It doesn't need to be, but I have my niece will be a year old. When you have a 1-year-old, you're often down on the floor doing things. My mom can do that.
Yeah.
She can go up and down the steps at my childhood home. She's busy. I don't want to find myself in a place where I can't get up off the floor. That goes back to the strength training. So I know I need to do it. So what I'm trying to work out right now is how to navigate that, because one of the things I also want to do is get outside. I walk the dog every day for 30 minutes. And so now it's like, okay, how am I going to balance these things? I want to get outside. I want to walk the dog. I know that's good for my mental health, to get some sunshine, to get some fresh air. Somebody got to walk the dog anyway. But then it's then how do I also fit this other piece in? So I'm struggling with that now because it doesn't feel like there's enough hours in the day. So I'm at a place right now where I can't figure out how to consistently do this thing. And so then I think what James Clear would tell me is, why don't you just start with like a set of 10 squats?
Right now?
I know you would be game for that.
Well, let's go.
Just start with 5 minutes of something. And so I think I think sometimes going back to kind of how I was saying, working backwards, I want to be able to dance at the wedding. Okay. This is the identity. I want to be healthy enough to be active as an older adult. So what do I need to be able to do now to be able to do that? And then breaking that down even further to what can I do consistently. He says in the podcast, don't let a day pass without doing something that's going to benefit you 10 years from now.
Yep.
That's so hard. Like, don't let a day pass without doing something. It's so hard to think like 10 years from now. But it's like when I walk the dog, that's something that benefits. When I read 10 pages of my book.
Walking your dog don't benefit none except for not getting no poop on your floor.
What?
Yeah.
It does benefit me.
How?
I get fresh air. I get out in the sunshine. I am moving my body.
And you can go out there and take pictures of the trees and the leaves.
That's right. And
practice your artistry.
I get to practice my creativity.
There you go.
See?
Shout out Corey.
So many things.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that for me is where sometimes we get lost in the sauce, is we don't think about what is this thing I can do consistently. I can't not eat pizza for the rest of my life. That is, I could. I don't want to. And I also think that, I only have one life to live, and Luigi's Pizza is really good.
Listen, you ain't going to validate it to me.
I know.
You eat that pizza.
So it's like, I think that's the thing too. People go in guns a-blazing. I'm only eating fruits and vegetables and rice and chicken for the foreseeable future. And then all of a sudden we're down in, cheeseburgers and pizza because we can't, that's not consistently, we can't do that. Going back to your thought on balance. And so I just think all of these things, they're so intertwined that's why I think going into January and just letting it start a little bit slower and getting really clear on what is it that I really want, why, the identity, what do I need to do every day, and how can I consistently do that every day? You said something earlier too that kind of makes, I can tie it to this. You talked about being a better dad, being a good father. And one thing they talked about on the podcast was sometimes when we say things like that is like, this year, I'm going to be a better spouse. I'm going to be a better father. Even I'm going to eat healthier. When we say things like that, that's like giant. Mm-hmm. Like to be a better dad, to be a better mom, a wife, a husband, a friend, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. That's like, there's like 9 million things that could go into that. When we say just be a better mom, what does that even mean? And so I think that's part of this process at the beginning of the year is like, if I say, okay, this year I'm going to be more present for my kids. I'm going to be more present for Michael. We got to get
Very
more
clear.
specific about what that means. And no different. I'm going to make better food choices. Okay. So that requires you to have a shopping habit, right? Like that requires you to go get what you need. Like I just shop once on the weekends. Mm-hmm. I don't go to the grocery store during the week. If we ain't got it, you ain't eating it. So it's like there's a habit. We have a habit there. We meal plan on the weekends. I go to the grocery store. We have what we're going to have. We decide what we're going to eat all for lunch for the entire week. I make that on the weekends. Those are all habits that we've formed to help us make better decisions. But if I just say eat better, we haven't thought through all of the things that it's going to take to accomplish that goal.
But why eat better?
So that so I can dance at the wedding.
You know, you said that, and I wanted to ask you, so 2 things you said. I want to be able to dance at the wedding, and then I want to be able to get down on the floor like Gigi, playing with the grandkids. Mm-hmm. What does that do for you? Like, what does that create for you?
So one of my values is family. So I think that's where that comes from. I know that one of my values is spending time with my family and creating memories with my family. And so I think that those things, when I say I want to dance at the wedding and I want to get down on the floor, like my mom can, I think all of that comes back to prioritizing how I can show up for my family later on. Mm-hmm. I think that's where that comes from.
So dancing at the wedding and playing with the grandkids are a part of making memories, crafting, happy memories with your kids and with their kids.
Yep. Crafting my life.
Yeah.
What I want my life to look like.
And I think that right there is the seed at the bottom of all the goals, of all the actions that we take. Eating pizza on Friday ain't going to be no big deal. Eating pizza 5 times a week is going to be a big deal because how you going to dance at the wedding? You're going to be 3,000 pounds.
Because you can't get out the seat.
Right. And the kids probably 3,000 pounds too because they follow what mom and dad did. But then the grandkids, it's like, shoot, how can I create memories if I have made choices that have limited me? So dancing is similar. Maybe you correct me. But dancing is like, okay, I'm running the marathon. Because once I dance, I'm done. But I'd be willing to bet the actions that you've taken up to that point will carry on. But if the end game or the system that's in place, what you want is I want to make memories. Memories in your mind might be memories different for me, different for Corey or anybody out there. Mm-hmm. So memories, what do memories look like? It's playing. It's being active, it's traveling. I can't do those things if this image I have in my head is somebody that can't get around or body is tore up. Mm-hmm. So memories for you is what the goal is. I want to build memories for me and my family. What does that entail? Well, activity, being able to do things, and being able to travel. It's what's interesting when you create that as the goal. This is for everybody out there. When you say, my goal is to create memories for me and my family, then getting hyper clear on what does that look like? I'm active, I'm traveling. Okay, what does active mean? I'm able to dance, I'm able to get down on the floor, I'm able to do whatever. And travel, I want to see the world because memories are tied to that.
Yep.
Well, crap. If we just go back to just traveling, it's like, all right, well, where do we want to go?
Mm-hmm. We got to have money for that traveling.
And there you go. So then all of a sudden goals are sprouted from, this is my value. This is what the type of person I want to be for me and my family. Mm-hmm. And so I think when we go the other way, like, I like to travel. I need to go to the gym because I should be going to the gym. That's where these goals die.
Yep.
But when you say, I want to create memories because this is meaningful to me, you have that pull. Like, it's, when you're doing something that doesn't align with the type of person you want to be, but it's just like, I know I shouldn't be eating this, but screw it. In the moment, you're like, I don't even freaking care. Bring me another slice. But if you're like, I said I wanted to make memories, and I can feel it, that this is not what I should be doing. This isn't the person that I want to become. Like, it feels different than just, I set goals, but who's going to come in here and tell me I shouldn't be doing this?
Right.
So, but yeah, if I want to be a better father, what does that mean? I want to be present. Mm-hmm. I do want to be active with my kids for as long as I can. I want to be here as long as I can. There's a couple people that I know currently in my life that make life choices that are limiting their time with their family.
Sure.
And it's because it feels good in the moment, or I don't have enough time. You ain't going to have no time. At the end, you continue on this path. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you. I mean, if you think about all the TV shows and movies, and similar to our story that we told, like, you 80, you can go back and spend time with the kids again when they're young, when they're running around the house. But like, I don't know how many movies are out there that people laying on their deathbed, they're like, oh, I wish I would have had more time. Like, that's the only thing that people want more of. But we're making choices that are limiting that right now. Mm-hmm. And man, your values at that point in your life look very different than how they did now. I'll say this, and this was a big piece that I saw that was interesting when it comes to goals as people set them in their own time. But it says goals when we're younger look different than goals when we're older. Mm. And so it said goals when we're younger are more material. They're more short-sighted. And if you were to go back and look, it's just like, that was just, what was that? But goals as we're older typically are more meaningful memories, or experiences. They're more heartfelt, mm-hmm. something that lasts. It's like, man, I remember that. 'Cause if you think about it, everybody's different for this, but like, as I look back in time, there are moments in my life where I'm like, dang, that was awesome. Like, you just reminisce. You always take that around with you everywhere. But I just remember like moments in high school. That wasn't in class because I did not like school. But it was like standing in the halls with my boys, going on church trips. I mean, like, I got closer to the Lord, but daggum, like, the time that we spent with each other, like, those were big memories. I remember church camp, and I just remember we were at, I think it was Lake Geneva, and just like going out there and jumping on the blob out into the lake and spending time. You're spending the night, and you wake up and we're just ramping around. We were raising Cain. It was just such a good time. But it's like, man, those bonds that you create there, that's the stuff that you take with you.
Yep.
And it's like, man, that was worth it, versus like, I got the cool Nerf gun that, like, then you wanted it. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, dude, I don't barely even remember that now, but I remember those memories.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny. The James Clear, they talked about seasons.
Yep.
And that's exactly what that makes me think of, what you're talking about right now. And it's okay for us to think of different, or have different paths we're going down in different seasons of our lives. Mm-hmm. I remember back to when the girls were little, and it was like, I'm about to go work out for 30 minutes. Are you kidding me? I have two kids under 3 years old. Like, it's just, and I think we have to have grace with ourselves and understanding, that this isn't the season for like pump and iron. That season will come, and it might look a little bit different. Maybe it is just walks around the block, whatever. But it's like, we go through these different seasons of our lives, and we need to be okay with that. We need to give ourselves grace when it's okay. When you're young to want, I want this car, and I want them clothes and them shoes and that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I think as we get older, we just go through these different seasons of our life where the things that we're focused on, they just change.
Yeah.
And that's okay. there's nothing wrong with that.
Isn't it funny when we were kids, like for Christmas, you're so excited. I'm like, I want this toy. I want this, that. And then your daggum parents or your grandparents give you freaking socks. And you're like, the freak is this, Mom? I don't want no dang socks.
You about to get humbled.
Yeah. I don't want this T-shirt, Grandma. Or she knits you one. Oh, you better wear it. You got to wear it the next Christmas. Go ahead and put it on now. See if it fits. Just wear it all night. And you're like, oh, no. But then you get older and you're like, dang, I do want some good socks.
Yeah. It's so funny.
I want some socks. Give me some underwear. I'm about short on that. It's like, this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Yep, it is. I think that we just have to understand, going back to the pressure that we feel and how it's like, you should be doing this. It's just take a step back. What's realistic for me in this season of my life?
Yeah.
And how am I like how he talks about, this is something that I think is worth people thinking about. There's things in your life, that are tell me if I say this wrong. I don't remember exactly how it say. I'll just give you an example. Your bank account is a lagging measure of your financial choices. Mm-hmm. So to me, what that means is if I look at my bank account now or my financial situation, that is a measurement. That is a piece of data that I can take in to say, have my previous financial decisions, this is where it's at. Whether I'm proud of that or whether I'm not. Mm-hmm. So if, you have a lot of debt or then your previous financial decisions are now showing up in your bank account in a way that maybe you don't like. So I think that is when people are trying to decide and look like, what do I want to work on? How am I going to work on myself in 2026 is like, look at the things that are already happening in your life. Mm-hmm. So your bank account is one measure. This should be an indication to me. I did a tour with the tech builders the other day, and we walked up the steps. And guess who had to take a second?
All them tech builders.
Me. They're young and spry. I had to take a second when I got to the top of the steps to catch my breath because I couldn't keep talking about the different parts of the lovely MJ building because I was out of breath. So that's a data point for me to consider about what my choices, what my lifestyle choices, how are they showing up for me now? Mm-hmm. The way they're showing up for me now is I can't walk up a set of steps without feeling winded. That's a problem. I'm not going to be able to dance at the wedding if I can't even walk up steps without feeling like I need to catch my breath. So I think that's important. There's all kinds of these measurements and data points surrounding you about how your previous decisions have led you to now.
Yep.
And if you're noticing those things, then those should help inform you on what it is you could be working on. And I say in 2026, but if we kind of take what we're saying now into consideration, it's not about 2026. It really isn't. That's a stepping stone. And every day we should be thinking about, am I doing something today to help my future self? But 2026 is just what year we happen to be in.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's a measurement of time. And we certainly don't want to be sitting here in 2027 having, thinking I didn't accomplish what I wanted to in any capacity over the past year. But I think the year itself is just a stepping stone to get you to where you want to be.
I like what you said, that the year doesn't matter. It's just the time frame that you're in.
Yep.
And it is true that your current fitness or your finances or whatever are that like result. Like you see it. Okay, well, I'm not where I want to be. And I think it is important to have those data points. I think about it like pinball and your back end. You might go too far one way or the other, but okay, I'm not where I need to be, or okay, this is overtaking me. Mm-hmm. You can work out too much, or you can not work out at all. But that middle ground, like you think about a pinball machine, it's wide, but you can only go so far before you're like, okay, I can't go any farther here.
Yep.
And so you got to recognize what are those boundaries and the different seasons in your life, you might not be able to. I know as this year goes on, second quarter about to get crazy for everybody, but as this year goes on, my time is going to look different. I was just telling Susie, I said, as we get busier, I might need to drive around a lot more and travel a little bit more. And she's like, so what does that look like? And I'm like, I truly don't know, but I'm going to have to figure some things out for sports and time and what the evenings look like. So I said, I'm just giving you the heads up. It'll be all worth it, but this is what it's going to look like. And she's like, okay. And I recognize that there's going to be some changes and some sacrifices that are made for that. But I got to make sure that I'm still intentionally choosing the time, and the actions to make sure that it still fits in that person, that dad, that husband that I want to be. And so I think even after all of what we've talked about today, it all boils back to, it's not just about the goals that we set, or at least from my vantage point, it's not about the goals that we set. It's what those goals tie to. This is the person that I want to be in the long run. So at the end, when I'm laying there, I'm like, okay, yes, I did those things that were important for me and not just flash in the pan at the moment. Dewey used to talk about his flash in the pan. You have somebody that rises to the top and then burns out. We got to be that slow burn, you got to make sure that it's something that's going to last. But I want to make sure that the person that I become at the end is worth it to me. Now I did, during my studies, see a couple of things. If you choose to set some goals based on the type of person you want to become, I think my favorite one, there were many I saw, but there was one that I had never really heard of. Have you heard of the 90-91 rule?
No.
Here we go. I hadn't either. So this one says that if you want to achieve something, like let's say we say, okay, I want to be a dependable husband and father because I have not lived up to that, or I want to be whatever it is. Let's say it's that. Well, the goals that go along with that is, okay, if I make a promise, I have to deliver on it. I need to put some systems in place for this. Like I need to set reminders for myself or tell somebody else or whatever. I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, that's the action, but it is, I want to be there to dance with my kids or whatever that is. Cool. The 90-91 rule suggests that you spend 90 minutes a day for 90 days on just the one goal. So it's for 90 minutes a day, I'm going to do behaviors or things that help me achieve that weight loss goal. If it's, I will spend 90 minutes eating healthy and spend a little bit of time, at the gym or walking or drinking water, whatever it is, spend 90 minutes on it for 90 days. And that'd be my one goal. And so it's, if you think I want to start a business, well, usually your business ain't gonna make it very far if you're not taking those actions. So you spend 90 minutes a day working on it. And what this does, it'll help us because of procrastination. People that procrastinate, it's like, I got 5 minutes, or I'll put that off for tomorrow. Do 90 minutes a day for 90 days on this one goal. And you will push it farther than you ever have. Because how many times do you spend that much time on something that's a goal of yours?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah. It reminds me of motion versus action. So, because I think what you're talking about is like action. So motion would be, if I want to start my own business, motion is like I spend hours and hours and hours working on my logo. Action is putting my logo out there to the world.
Correct.
So there's a difference in motion and action. So when you're taking action, sometimes there has to be motion. I'm not saying, you don't need a good logo, because you do. But I think that there's got to be motion, but there's got to be action at some point. And so I think if you did it, particularly for that long, for that many days, think of how much action you would accomplish.
Right.
He says that in there too. If you don't let a day pass without doing something that would benefit you in 10 years, you'll be shocked at how much progress you can make towards a goal. It won't take you 10 years.
Right.
If you're spending 90 minutes a day for 90 days working towards something, you'll be shocked at the amount that you could accomplish because you've focused that time and effort and you've been consistent with it.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I had never heard of that. I was like, might be something good. So if you're trying to be more dependable, what is 90 minutes a day on being more dependable, being a better father, a better husband, a better wife for your kids? What does that look like?
Yeah.
It'll look different for everybody. So I don't know. I feel like, we kind of did talk about goals today, but also we went a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
Like what type of person am I trying to be? What type of systems do I need to have in place? I really liked what you were saying, like it's all about building memories. So what do building memories look like? And those goals sprout out from that, but you have to get crystal clear on what that is so that you don't waste time on frivolous goals that may not get you there.
Yeah.
We also talked about taking some breaks, not spending too much time and going hard like flash in a pan, and then turn out you burn out and then you 3 million pounds. And I don't think that anything has to be perfect. It's just get started, get rolling, get clear on what you want.
Yep. Yeah, I think if I could say anything for taking it away is that I don't want anybody to think that we're saying that goals aren't important. I do think that goals are a part of this picture. I think the picture, if we want to stick with our goals and make real changes, it's got to be more than just that. And so I think take some of the pressure off of January, right? It's like kind of like Corey was saying, come in slow. Like take some time, look at the data points in your life, look at your bank account, think about your lifestyle and your health and what are all those things telling you right now. I think that self-reflection helps us know what we could focus on and how we could move forward. It's like, let's just don't throw darts. Like, let's don't hope something sticks. Let's like actually make a plan and put something in place, some systems that are going to help to like really get us to where we want to be.
Amen.
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 I do hope, I know I said like 2026 don't really matter. I mean, I wasn't really saying it like that.
That's exactly what you said.
2026 does matter because it's a year's worth of opportunities to grow and to be more than you were the day before, the year before. And so I do hope that even if you come into January slow, that you will take some time to think about how am I going to work on myself? How am I going to be better than I was last year in whatever facet of your life that you want to do that.
Yep. Start in April.
Maybe we'll check in.
You got time.
I know.
We'll see y'all in about 8 episodes.
That's right. I'll jot it down. Check in on April goals for an April episode.
It'll be April 1st. It'll be like April Fool's Day. Start in August.
Who went to the gym today? We're here to hold you accountable. Maybe we will. We'll check back in.
Yep.
All right. Don't forget to follow us on Apple, Spotify, and now YouTube. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, peace, love, and easy does it.
Catch the baseball with your glove, not your face. Appreciate y'all.